thing. You mentioned things like, hey, it pisses you off when your white friends say all lives matter, right? And I made the admission last week that I wasn't even clear on how offensive this was to who about what. And I'm willing to be the guy who openly admits when he doesn't know stuff, okay? So I want to have open dialogue and communication with people that I consider friends that can teach me, can hear me out. We can have open conversation and dialogue. We can all do it freely in a safe and respectful place. And maybe, just maybe, by having these types of conversations, we can help spread organically, small town, spread the love. Look, I'm just saying, Paul, that as impacted as you were, it was the same with the three of us, man. I think everybody in America is impacted by what we've seen.
I won't say that everyone's impacted. Your president is impacted. He can't even say the individual's full name. He can't, he's talking about signing bills or what have you. And when people are asking him questions, and he's like, he can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, when he's being asked questions. I've signed autographs and I've done other things and had conversations with people. So I won't say everyone. Social media, the thing about life is you find out about people. 12 rounds. You find out who's going to go 12 rounds with you, who are your friends. Like, for people who are offended by what I said or what I'm saying, if you are down with what I said, or you aren't down with me, then you weren't a friend in the first place. If you really don't see true problems with this, if you're okay with things going like this, and this is part of the umbrella of life as far as being a black person. That's, this, we're talking about death, but then you also talk about opportunities. You're talking about jobs. I talk about this thing called 100 miles to the shortcut, 100 meters to shortcut, 100 meters to never. And what that is about is you and I are running 100 meters. Now I'm going to get you, and I'm going to be out quick for this opportunity. And you're going to be behind me. But I'm running, and I see as 100 meters, that finish line, for me, as a black man, it keeps coming back, further back. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I trained hard. I did everything, the same thing that you've done, but it keeps going back. And all of a sudden, your arms and legs, I don't hear anymore. Why? Because the shortcut has stopped for you. You've already got to your destination. Your destination is already over for you. For me, it keeps going back, and my 100 meters become a mile, sometimes miles, sometimes a marathon. And unfortunately, sometimes never. And that is the life that sometimes you talk about opportunities. And what that destination is, sometimes it's a job promotion, sometimes it's a job, sometimes it's some form of elevation. And then for me, it's to keep me in my place, no matter how great I am. Look at the NFL. As dominant as blacks are players in the NFL, think about the operations, general managers and what have you. As far as, and then they say, well, you need to get experience. But then you have someone in the broadcast booth goes to, and all of a sudden he's a general manager, or he's running operations, and you know what I'm talking about, operations, and he doesn't look like me. And then they always use it's always the same thing. Oh, he blew us away in the interview. Like, black people can blow you away in the interview. We can blow you away in an interview, but then it's like, well, just get some more experience. So we're talking about, we can have these stances, we can have these summits, but at the end of the day, sooner or later, true action is going to have to take place. You cannot keep putting us in our place and then thinking that we're going to sit here and just be okay with it.
I have a question though. I have a question though. Am I supposed to, and I'm being very serious now, am I supposed to feel guilty as a white man because John Lynch was plucked from the Fox broadcast booth, went to the San Francisco 49ers with no experience, and by the way, as you would have to acknowledge, he's been very successful. But are you saying to me, hey man, that shit's not cool, dude. You should feel bad about that, because that's the way it feels now. I've heard this new phrase. It's called white guilt. I didn't know I ever had it before. I've been told
white privilege.
Okay. I was told by Burt Grossman, it's not white guilt. It's Jewish guilt. So forget it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But you tell me what, Paul, are you putting that on me, dude?
No. Cap, you feel the way you're supposed to feel. I'm telling you the way what life is. I'm telling you what life, the way it's showing. Notice how demonstrative you are to leap to, I didn't even say a name, But
you got it. I mean, you told us we knew who you were talking about.
Well, Matt Millen got a job too a long time ago.
So did Mike Mayock.
Yeah. So
how about Michael Jordan?
But
I mean, is this what we're going to do now? We're going to put black failures versus white failures up, and we're going to. I mean,
name someone after Michael Jordan.
Well, I'll have to start really.
If you want to come, I mean, seriously, if we're going to sit there and do this, there's no comparison. You can't.
Of course not. Naturally, that's your complaint. Your complaint is.
So that's why I talk about action. That's why I said talk about action. I'm tired. I mean, people are tired of hearing about the hashtags and without action. And we come back and something's going to happen again. And true accountability as far as people. I had a conversation with someone in the police industry, law enforcement industry, and they kept talking about their legacy, being ruined because of what happened because of 4 people. And I'm like, well, not really. It wasn't 4 people, because here's an individual with 18 citations or have you being disciplined, and this individual still has a job. Do you honestly think a black person, if they were in that situation, that they would still have a job? Sometimes we don't even have an opportunity to make one mistake. 18.
I think one of the unfortunate situations that this has caused is when we bring it to a sports perspective, and I'll keep a person that we all know, Louis Riddick, who seems to be intelligent, seems to be very compassionate, very vocal, seems to have all the faculties that would get him the same interview that John Lynch got, that would get him the same interview Mike Mayock got, that would get him the same interview that Matt Millen got. And by the way, Matt Millen was awful.
Terrible.
I'm talking about next level awful. So it's not even a point of failing and getting in an opportunity. I think what Paul is saying and what the overarching question becomes is, if the case is the opportunities haven't been presented, or when they do get the opportunity, they don't succeed, look at a guy like Mike Tomlin. How come the hiring of Mike Tomlin has not facilitated on the hiring of more black coaches? He's got a ton of black coaches on his staff, right? But when the interview process comes up, they're not interviewing these guys. Eric, the Chiefs offensive coordinator.
Eric Bieniemy.
Yes. Look how long he has to wait for his opportunity. When Matt Nagy, the Chicago Bears head coach, got an opportunity almost right out of the chute when he had an opportunity to be seen. And Absolutely. So the question is, how many hoops does an African-American in the same position have to jump to get the same job opportunity? And that's the part about it that I can relate to it, because I feel like I've had to do a lot of stuff in this business just for Scott to be like, hey, why isn't nobody giving him a chance? Hey, come do this on the show. Right. I worked in that building. All those same people knew me, but no one else wanted to let me do anything until Scott gave me an opportunity. Why did it take for him to do it when, quote unquote, management said, oh, you're great, you can do this, you can do that, but not right now? Why did it take for him to be like, hey, right now, I don't give a fuck about waiting. Come do it now. Like, where are the people who see the talent like Scott does? Some people will say I have no talent, but see the talent like Scott does, and we'll pull the trigger on that. We need more owners doing that. We need more GMs doing that.